You sat down to do something, and suddenly you were somewhere else entirely. No dramatic decision, a moment where you chose to stop is missing. Your attention just left. Does this happen to you dozens of times a day? Most people assume it is a personal failure, a discipline problem combined with laziness problem. Lucky for you, it is neither. We can call it environmental problem running on ancient hardware. The numbers behind it are genuinely alarming. Let's start with 47 seconds. Average number of seconds a person can focus on a single screen before their attention moves, not even a minute. Seconds. 47 seconds. Dr. Gloria Mark has been measuring this for nearly 2 decades. In 2004, the average was 2.5 minutes. By 2012, it had dropped to 75 seconds. Today, it is 47. The decline did not happen by accident. It happened because the environment changed faster than the brain could adapt. Now here is the number that is even harder to sit with. 23 minutes and 15 seconds. That's how long it will take you to fully return to deep focus after a single interruption. Not the interruption itself, just the recovery. You got one notification, you opened one tab, checked one message. Just like that, 23 minutes of deep work is gone. Mark's research found something else that makes this worse. After being interrupted, you do not go directly back to what they were doing. On average, you pass through two other tasks first. Brain does not bounce back immediately, it meanders. Subscribe if you have ever sat down to work and looked up to find an hour has passed and you have nothing to show for it. Here is what is actually happening in the brain. Attention is a resource, not a metaphor for a resource. It is a literal resource with a physical limit. The prefrontal cortex has a finite capacity for executive function at any given time. Every switch of attention depletes that capacity slightly. Gloria Mark described it as a tank that leaks with every switch. The more you switch it, the more it leaks. The emptier the tank, the harder it is to resist the next distraction, and the next distraction is right around the corner. The environment you are sitting in was designed by people who get paid when your attention moves. Every notification is a designed interruption. Every algorithmic feed is optimized to produce the exact state that maximizes switching. The variable reward schedule keeps your attention scanning, and scanning sometimes produces something interesting. Your brain can't stop looking. It is not broken. It is doing exactly what it evolved to do in an environment it was not built for. The attention system evolved for a world where novelty was rare and dangerous. A rustle in the grass, an unfamiliar figure on the horizon, a change in the fire's sound. Novelty meant information. Information meant survival. Naturally, the brain learned to orient toward anything new, automatically, without conscious permission. Now novelty is manufactured at industrial scale and delivered at infinite speed. The attention system cannot distinguish between a rustle in the grass and a notification. It treats both as potentially important, oriented toward both. And a brain built for occasional genuine novelty is permanently in a state of interrupted orientation. You do not lack willpower or something else. You are distracted because you are a Pleistocene brain in a notification ecosystem. Here's the part that most productivity advice gets wrong. The solution is almost never more discipline. Discipline requires the same executive function that distraction depletes. Resisting with willpower is like trying to stop a leak by pouring water into the leaking tank. The actual solution is structural. Change what the attention system encounters before the distraction begins. Phone in another room. The research on this is consistent and dramatic. Adrian Ward in 2017 found out that the presence of a smartphone on a desk reduced available cognitive capacity compared to leaving it in another room. You do not have to be using it for it to cost you. It just has to be there and that's it. Notification removal is not preference. It is protection of the finite resource. Time blocking is not organization. It is defense of the recovery window. If it takes you 23 minutes to fully return to deep focus, the only way to sustain deep focus is to make interruptions structurally impossible long enough. Not occasional, but structural. Build it into the environment before the session starts. Here is one more thing the research confirms. Stress and focus are not separate problems. Mark's work shows that switching attention rapidly increases cortisol. The more fragmented your attention, the more stressed you feel. The more stressed you feel, the more you reach for quick dopamine relief. This means you check your phone, which means another interruption, and that means another 23 minutes gone. The distraction and the stress feed each other in a loop that most people experience as a general feeling of never quite catching up. This loop feeling is not a personality trait. It is a physiological consequence of an attention environment that was not designed with your well-being in mind. Here is the last thing worth knowing. Gloria Mark's research also found that people who managed their focus did not have strongest willpower. They were the ones who understood what attention actually is and designed their environments accordingly. The 47-second average is not a ceiling. It is a baseline for an unmanaged environment. Managed environments produce different numbers. Your attention is not gone. It is responding rationally to an irrational environment. Fix the environment and the attention follows. Drop a comment. What is the one change that has most helped your focus? I genuinely want to know what works. Like, share, subscribe. Your attention is the most valuable thing you have. The internet knows that better than you do.